It's just fun.
You're
Yay! Hi guys. Oh, come back. I got some Sprite in here. You're never gonna guess what happened to me. First of all, there should have been gas in the car for me and my girl to go to the city and back. I thought we could make it, and girl thought we could make it too. And I swear, y'all, we run out of gas right outside of town. And then Lucy Fur, wants to say hi. So, girl got her stitches out today. That's where we went.
To my defense, they
With
had
not enough gas.
they passed 200 gas stations and had plenty of money.
Well, we don't go anywhere in the city unless we have to. And we had to go one place, and then we just got out of Dodge. And do you know, I think everyone in town was thinking the same thing we were, like we need to get out of the house anyway. So we all went to the city, I think, today.
This cat's being annoying. Go find something to do.
So I'll tell you. How y'all been doing today? Great idea for the live. It really is. We've got several books here. And he dug out his little I'm a man, want to build stuff kind of books. Or want to go out and trap and kill something kind of books.
She dug out her I'm a woman, want to cook stuff kind of books.
Yeah. Anyway. Hi, 357.
Girl.
And then there's Hillbilly, because you know who that is. That's Hillbilly. Have fun in nature.
Oki's eating.
Oki's eating. Hey, Oki. All right. I got a lot of dogs. And I just got here about 45 minutes ago. Every dog and animal in the house is very happy to see me and girl. And there's some toys going on in the background. But it'll be copacetic. First book I was going to show y'all. Homesteading, How to Find New Independence on the Land by Jean Logston. I'm going to put it up here. Oh, no.
Now, a lot of our books are old.
Sure is bleached out.
It looks okay here.
Can you see that? It's not very good there. It's a very
Doesn't
old
look
book.
nearly as bad on the phone.
So it's GENELOGSDON. And the title is Homesteading, How to Find New Independence on the Land. And I think I found interesting about this book is it gives you like basic approaches to getting into your livestock. It gives you basic crops to grow organically. It tells you when to plant them. It tells you whether you should just sow them outside or transplant them. The dog knocked the camera around. I'm trying to be real cool about it. Grains you can grow for your livestock. How to get your fruit gardens going. We should just let this calm down for a minute before we.
I apologize. Let me take away her crinkly toy.
You want to let them outside?
Yes. I didn't mean to say no, guys. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
The blind bowling ball.
Why she chooses now to pick up the crinkly ball?
Right. So this guy, he's uniquely qualified, he says, to write a book on homesteading. He was born and raised on his family's small Ohio farm. Though he left that land, he's never been far from farms or farming. Let's see. He worked on a number of farms in several states before entering graduate school at the University of, I think it says Indiana. Why does it always come back to Indiana, Miss T?
Tampa's here.
Hi, Tampa. How you doing, Tampa? I'm just trying to get this sticker off so I can read the back of this book. Indiana and Tennessee, I think it's trying to tell me. He pursued extensive studies in the rural folklore of the Midwest. In recent years, he's traveled, and this is recent years, it's like 30 or 40 years ago. He's traveled widely as a writer, dealing always with farming subjects. What?
Read, have fun, comment.
Oh.
Does your shirt smell like Teen Spirit?
What does Teen Spirit smell like? Let's just
You
ask
really don't want to
ourselves.
know. I mean,
You know what I mean? What does it smell like? Have fun. What does it smell like?
and guys, I was talking about how a
Chewy.
lot of these books are old. This one, it was copyrighted in '73, and this is the
Had to look down to see what I was wearing.
it's like sixth printing in '77. So a lot of the information you have to kind of take with a grain of salt because it is kind of dated. But
Is it?
these people,
Things haven't really changed that much. As far as what you're going to be paying, all the price stuff they're talking about here is totally off. But like the basics, they haven't changed much.
I mean, you think about though how much closer they were to what they're writing about back then.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have cell phones to play with. They didn't have YouTube to play with. They didn't have all this stuff. You know, they didn't have a lot of technology that
Whether
we have
this
today.
guy had a functioning homestead, I can't say. I do know that he probably came off of a functioning homestead from his growing upage, you know? And what he did was say, I'm going to write this. So we know he did this. Anyway, he's got some other things he did. He worked for magazines that really don't exist anymore. And he wrote 2 other books, 2 Acre Eden and The Wyeth People. So you might want to check him out. I thought that this stuff, rhubarb, for instance, I was, I planted rhubarb once and it was beautiful and I harvested and I thought that was the end of that. But,
Tampa says it's because the Indiana's supposed to be centered.
is that what it is, Tampa? There's so many things lately that I've been bumping into. One of the seed companies I like to buy from is based in Indiana. It's like Gurney. So you go. You choose a book now.
Okay. These are 3 books by the same author. It's one I was mentioning to have fun the other night. This one is Wildwood Wisdom by Ellsworth Yeager.
Now spell it. Because we're going to have to get a different camera because it's really bled out
It
there.
doesn't look as bad on
It doesn't?
the phone. No, I've been telling you this.
Just stop using that camera.
Well,
Note to self, stop using this camera, guys.
Okay, his name is spelled Ellsworth, and his last name is Jaeger. Anyway, he wrote this book, Wildwood Wisdom, which I think is one of the best outdoor survival books in the world. After the war, he said that America was getting away from its roots and he needed people to get back to basics and living and supporting themselves, self-sufficiency, self-proficiency. He also has, this one is Nature Crafts, and a lot of the information in this one is also in the Wildwood Wisdom, but this is more of the craft stuff. It even goes into like building huts and stuff.
Yeah, rhubarb grows
and all
back
kinds
every
of,
year.
like, fun stuff.
I thought it was one and done. I was thinking to myself, wow, that's a big old bush. Of course, I got a lot off of it, right?
This one is Tracks and Trailcraft, which is pretty self-explanatory. But besides animal and tracks like that, he also goes into human tracks and how to tell the difference in human tracks and if they're running or walking or judging their age by their step pattern. Younger people have a wider stride, older people have a more of a tottering stride, and
So if we ever wanted to hunt something
this guy
down, we
is
could
really
find
in
it.
depth, and I mean, he explains stuff so well, and it's full of illustrations.
Hey, girl, let those
There.
dogs in.
Yeah, it's full of illustrations on every subject. Really good.
We'll pick something up. Pick something
Okay.
out, though.
I picked
Each one of those. Right there.
like right here. This is what I marked. He has how to make a stone tomahawk. And not only that, down here in the corner, he tells you how to fell a tree with a stone tomahawk. I'm not sure if you can see it real well, but it's really, really good. Basically, you make a mud ring around the tree, just a little ways up. You build a fire under it, and when the fire chars the wood, you knock it off with the stone tomahawk. And you keep doing that, which I imagine is time-consuming, but hey, how many people would say they chop down a tree with a rock? Really good information. Okay, Ellsworth Yeager is my top of the list for my, like you said, I'm a man, I want to build things books.
This book also tells you what to forage for each month of the year, broadly. Like, it's all the stuff may not grow in your area, but it's in there. So that was really cool. But Wildwood Wisdom also has stuff like that in here.
Wildwood Wisdom, I swear, I am a firm believer. If you took that book out into the woods and followed it as closely as possible, you could live comfortably.
You can make yourself a teepee.
I mean, he goes into everything: clothing, housing, warmth, foraging for food. I mean, everything. Even just stuff to do for fun. And I don't know if any of you ever watch those survival shows, but they go stir crazy,
Camp furnishings. You can make yourself a table, guys. Little lantern stick. All right.
Okay, your turn.
Give me my Bible cookbook. It's easier to judge a cookbook if you know how to cook than if you don't know how to cook. And someone gifted this to me a long time ago, and it was in much better shape when they gave it to me. It's very old. Let's see what I can see. What about it? And by the way, one of those books I got for him, the Wildwood Wisdom book, we just got that a couple years ago, so it can be found.
I forgot to read the
And it was super cheap.
The inscription inside the cover.
Can't read that while I'm looking for.
They ordered this for me. It's been hard to find. It says, "A Merry Christmas, 1947. To my outdoor friend, Peter Hunt, in hopes that we can do some shooting together in 1948. Good wishes, I think that's his middle initial. I can't read it. Anyway,
Somebody.
It was inscribed to somebody for Christmas in 1947.
And I gave it to him for Christmas.
And it was a Christmas gift. It's really cool. But like there again, old book, old author.
Because he used to have that book, and he lent it to a friend, and that friend loved it so much, he just decided he wasn't going to get it back to him. That's why I got that
he's the
book.
one that got me the other two Ellsworth Yeager books as compensation.
So he got a book stolen from him, then he got two back. So it's a pretty cool story.
That's another thing, guys, that would be really neat to talk about is the sharing of information, trading books. Me and my buddies used to do it all the time. If we found a good book, like the Wildwood Wisdom, you've got to check out this book. And have fun in nature. If you were here, I would let you borrow my copy.
So this is a Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. It's called the Heritage Cookbook. And it dates back to 1975 as the earliest printing. But what's cool about this is it has food history, different ethnicities. So you might be cooking some Russian stuff in here. You might be cooking something from Germany, like you don't know. It's just all in here. But the food history is what's cool. It gives history into just, when Americans were first here, before it was even a country. We didn't have railroads, so it was all fresh eating. What you could find right there, maybe even real rustic. So like all the recipes reflected that, and then you got a little refrigeration with your train cars later in the day when everything was more advanced. So that that made everything like change food wise. That's all interesting to me. And
I like how it has like sections on like the Pennsylvania Dutch. And they have
yeah,
the Dutch
like
recipes.
this right here is
adapted
New
to
England. It's got a really great. Woohoo! This is my Thanksgiving area. It's got the ham and the the dressing, and it's a mess. That's how my cookbooks are. Please don't judge. I'm a messy cook. I'm a good cook. But Lord, stay out of my way. It's got a really good jambalaya recipe in here. I'm a firm believer in cooking from scratch. I'm a firm believer in, I don't know, stay up to date and find out what kind of fats you're supposed to use. And I'm kind of a believer in the using of the bacon grease and just natural stuff.
One way to look at it, learning to cook from scratch is like we were talking about having a hard copy of the book. You know, if you're looking for a book, find the hard copy that you can keep with you. If you know how to cook from scratch, then you're not dependent on your mixes.
It's about having a good pantry. I think it's hard to build a good pantry.
One of the best ideas I heard on building a good pantry for now this is from a prepper book, but hey, you know, you can take good things out of a lot of stuff, is buy like one extra thing every time you go grocery shopping. Like if you're going to buy a bag of beans, buy 2 bags of beans. If you're going to buy a bag of rice, buy 2 bags of rice. If you're going to buy some flour, buy 2 bags of flour. You know, just one thing every time, and it might cost you $5, $10. And
I'm looking at my dogs at my feet, guys. There's a lot going on.
A blind bowling ball.
Don't encourage it. Don't egg it on. So what else? Yeah, cooking from scratch, having a good pantry. Like, even if you don't go grocery shop, I didn't go grocery shopping for the week. He went out a few times with milk. He really thought we were going to ride out the whole week with like this much milk in the gallon.
Can't haul all these books if I need to run. No, that is true. But I don't know about you guys, but reading something and rereading it.
And you got it.
It really helps ingrain. And if you live like, have fun in nature, you're always camping outdoors, try this stuff out just for fun, you know? Different ways of building fires. You know, that's always fun. I love that. I mean, seeing if I can build a fire different ways. And, you know, like build you a little willow chair for one of your campsites, you know. I'm just fun stuff like that. And then it gets ingrained in your head. So you have your library upstairs.
I can see the necessity to be ready to run, but I also think there's something to be said to have the firmness and the readiness to stand. Because sooner or later you're going to have to quit running and stand somewhere. And you know, life, except for have fun in nature, life on the fun, when you're not comfortable, that can be rough. You got to go somewhere. And I'm telling you, everybody wants to go to the mountains, so I'm thinking maybe the mountains may not be the best bet.
I was just going to mention that. Having fun.
Yeah.
Talking about if I can just read and make notes.
Yeah.
Keep your little notebook. Write down their really good stuff that, you know, like we were talking about building a fire. If you find this way is easier for you, write it down exactly how you did it. I have a little recipe book that I use. I take recipes out of her cookbooks that work for me, and I write them down in a little bitty notebook, and that's my cookbook. Same basic principle. Hey, Okie, finished cooking oatmeal raisin cookies. Wow. I want you to know the other night I made some peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, and they were huge.
He did.
I mean, they were this big around and half-inch thick, and there was like 2 dozen. And after dinner that night, I went to get a cookie, and there were 7.
Because you know what? Me and my daughter, we like some cookies. Why does he make them if not for the eating of them?
Property protection.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? Right. There's not much really to say about this. It's exciting story of food in American life featuring 705 recipes, which work, by the way. I would never show you a cookbook that I have that doesn't work. Because I have some that don't work. In fact, I just threw one away. I'm sorry. I threw a book away.
And like I was talking about keeping my little recipes that work for me, same thing with your skills. If you find one that works for you, write it down.
Right. Something to be said with the way you hold your mouth around here. Like, you may be great at something and your partner may suck at something, right? It's all in the way you hold your mouth. And I could attempt to do it and get it done, right? But it just won't have that flair, or vice versa. Yeah, we're not suggesting you run around with the books. It's the reading of them that's important.
And you're talking about property protection. That's one thing you have to be aware of, especially if you were like in a, say, society collapse, God forbid. The haves and have-nots will switch pretty quickly. And the people that know how to do these things, for certain groups, they will be their new leaders. For others, they will be their new targets. People always want what you got. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. Now, the next couple of books, I like to find an author that seems to know what he's talking about and stick with him. This book here, Living Off the Country. Oh, I'm having trouble. It was 1968. Okay?
Can you see it?
And
I do apologize for the unprofessionalism of that camera.
Bradford
And
Angier.
us.
Angier. It's a really good book. I mean, it's pretty basic. It doesn't have a lot of illustration, but it's a decent book. Really good information. This one was last printed in 2024. How to Stay Alive in the Woods by Bradford Angier. And in this one, here's one of my favorite sections. He has like color illustrations of edible plants and trees, and
You just can't see it.
you can on the phone and
Oh,
such
you
like
can.
that. It's like I said, this guy seems to know what he's talking about, and he's been around for 50, 60 years writing these things. He obviously has a following, proven, I guess you would call it. Okay.
This you could take with you. And this seems most important, actually. I figure anybody could figure out how to make furniture sooner or later, right? When the need is great. You'd be figuring it out real quick. I was just going to see, oh, look. No.
That's first aid, yes. A lot of these have a section on first aid, which is important.
Following blazes.
Mr. Yeager goes into Native American trail marking, how to recognize those when they marked them back in the day, Granny Southern Corner. Howdy. How you doing?
You ever heard of compass declination? I would just call that compass degradation. So like messing around between true north and magnetic north, you go to specific places up north like Canada and Maine. You have to know where to read your compass to be really going north. And it's complicated. That's what's in this book. My husband does not have a compass.
No. But I know how to, if I lose my direction, I know how to find my direction using different techniques without a compass.
Even driving down the road.
Driving down the road, you can just pay attention to where the sun is, how the shadows fall,
This man
stars.
told me to go west at high noon when the sun was directly above me, and I had already stated that I was lost in a vehicle.
Okay, guys, but if you don't know which direction they're facing, if she was facing south, she would turn right. If she was
In the
facing
summertime.
north, she would turn left. So I just said, go west. And she's like, which direction's west? Oh, Lord. See, my dad and my grandpa, we coon hunted a lot when I was a kid and did a lot of hunting and outdoor stuff. And they would take you way out in the woods and say, okay, you find a way back.
Did you ever get the feeling like they lost other children that way?
No, they would stay with you.
Oh, they'd stay with you.
Yeah. And if you really screwed up, they'd bail you out. But for the most part, they'd let you find your way back. And you've noticed, even you got to admit, I have an innate sense of direction, especially in the woods. You know, I know where I'm headed and how to get there.
This is one place where my grandma and grandpa lived. It's called White Bluff. It's at the top of a place called Blue Mountain, which is just a big hill. But southeast Oklahoma, Wilburton. Okay, so like we decided we were gonna hike all the way to the top of that thing and go see White Bluff. It's rumored there's a cave up there that has a wagon in it. Now, how they get that wagon in that cave, I don't know. But we were gonna go find it. So we went for it and we missed. We didn't get up there at all. It was horrible. It was a great view. We went up there and it was tall enough we got clouds. But
Granny's Southern Corner said,
that's the only time he's ever gotten lost in the woods, I was gonna say.
Do you recall way back in the day when cars had like bobblehead type compasses on the front dash in the middle? I do.
Yeah. I remember that.
Now they have the digital compass in the mirrors.
We don't have a compass in our car.
I don't.
We used to have little clocks in some cars that, with little hands that went round and round. But back then, most people wore watches and stuff a lot.
There is a way you can find north with a watch. You can find direction with a watch. It's explained in a lot of those books. Has to point in your watch the sun and between the hour hand and it's complicated to go into, but you can do it with a watch. If you have a old time handed watch, a dial watch. Most people don't even wear watches anymore.
Do you know, I don't know. I could never do all of that. I would do it in the woods and I'd think that I had it right and it'd be probably just like backward and I would really get lost. You know what I mean? It's a lot to remember. What you just described.
Yeah,
but you have to have a watch to do that.
That's what I was talking about. Practice.
This book, I have practicals with Scott duct tape on it. If I've had anything to do with it, I've loved it hard.
Notice the name?
This book, Back to the Basics. Some of my first vegetable gardens were planned out of this little book, and dreaming about my goats and wondering if I could go ahead and do that, where I'm at, and my chickens. But this is Back to the Basics, and this is kind of like that other one, to where you could do a lot out of this book for a basic homestead. Even a little blacksmithing over here.
It's tinsmithing too.
It tells you how to get your bees going and what to do with beeswax. It's got candles. It's got basic vegetables like they'll say cabbage, beets, all that stuff, and like how many you need per person for family. That stuff's important, And it's got some canning recipes. It again talks about husbandry for your animals. It's got growing of grains for them or for yourself. It's got bread making, sourdough making. You can make yourself a canoe or a kayak out of here.
Perfume,
soap making. There's a really good section on soap making in here I plan to be utilizing soon.
Did you see Granny's comment?
If we could ever have a kid out there. I fell out the back of the truck. Well, actually, I jumped off the back of the truck because it looked like I was going slow enough to just trot away, and it whipped me. You know what kind of whip it? Just whoop, and I busted my knee open. My daughter was looking at my scar recently, and she said, "My God, Mom." So that was a real person back then. I'm kind of delicate now. I may not look it, but I am. I'm a tender flower now, but I used to be a tough woman. Now, he went hunting and stuff with his grandparent and dad. I went fishing with my grandpa. And then I just also went fishing by myself. Grandma would make me work in the garden. That's what started my gardening journey. I wasn't really happy to do it, but I did it. It was weeding and stuff, and then she'd set me loose, and I'd bring my fish back, and her and I would work at cleaning them. This was her trying to make me clean them for myself, which never happened, but I was definitely in on it.
That's hilarious, Okie.
What? Oh my God, Okie. Oh my
Okay,
God.
here's a question for you, Okie. How many of us learned to drive the truck in the hayfield?
My grandpa would only let me steer because I couldn't reach the pedals.
When
But
I
I
first
steered the truck while he let the hay out in the back.
when I first started driving the truck in the hayfield, hauling hay, we had a granny gear 4-speed. They would put it in first. I couldn't reach the pedals, and I would stand in the seat and steer the truck. You know, because in a granny gear 4-speed, you put it in first, it'll just go forever. They can just walk beside it. All I had to do is stand in the seat and steer. I mean, and that's how most of us country boys learned back then.
I remember standing in the seat. Anyway, I like this book. This is actually the second edition I've had because I love it real hard, like I said. And this is my mom, bless her heart, replaced it for me, and I've still abused it. So I suggest
Now,
this is a Reader's Digest.
This
book.
one is a second edition. It's the second edition of this Back to Basics. Her mother got one that was like a 4th edition or something like that, and it wasn't nearly as good. I don't know why, but one thing to point out is I said this book, you could go out in the woods and live off the country using just this book. This book right here is more for like the homestead style life. And it has everything you could need for that. Gardening and animal husbandry and crafting for yourself, blacksmithing, tinsmithing, perfume making. I mean, it even has how to make a mountain dulcimer.
You be repping it with style with this book. Yes. Well, it's good to point out.
Hey, Chris, good to see you. Oh, they are great books, Okie. I would recommend
It's
them.
got a great index too. It's good cross-reference stuff. Like it's not hard to find stuff in here, and I hate that in books that are hard. You have to really just look at every page until you find what you're looking for. Yeah, it's really intelligently written. Reader's Digest. I used to like reading. I think I talked about that last Saturday. I used to like reading my grandma's Reader's Digest. She'd leave them laying around. Can I point out that the last Wednesday's live was about Farmer's Almanac and the predicting of the weather? We went into that, and Shay, I said, was not going to get snow. She was just going to get rain, and it was right. The rest of us, it was pretty much spot on for what we got. And I'm telling you, it's better to, I think, it's cool.
Okie said they
To
could
have
drive
it.
truck,
Just to have
tractor, and skid steer by 13. Granny says she learned at the gun range while her daddy practiced. I mean, that's country, guys.
I drove her
that.
John Deere.
One of the greatest songs ever made, Country Boy Can't Survive.
She used to set me loose on her little John Deere riding lawnmower, too.
Howdy, Peach.
Peachy Keen. Yes. Yup. Girl, you tell them all you're alive and well. I feel like with the answer for where Peach is. Peach is here. Me and Peach constructing this winter.
Granny, you can never run out of material going through the almanac. Never.
Right. It has such good stories. Granny, this year it's got stuff about jasmine. A whole article about the different kinds of jasmine. And that you can grow it in your house if you've
Not
got
like
a good
Aladdin's
southern window.
girlfriend,
No,
right?
not Aladdin's jasmine. A good sunny window in the south or east. You can grow that jasmine. It smells good. And I want a distiller or make a distiller. Not for like moonshine or nothing like that. I want to make my herbs up
Oh, guys, my grandpa.
for my... When they drained my grandma's big pond, they found a whiskey still in there.
She grows 2 kinds of jasmine.
Do you? Who said that?
I'm going to make it shine still. I wish I could remember how Grandpa did his. I mean,
Come on, make
where
it shine.
I grew up, moonshine was a way of life.
The only time I ever had any shine growing up, I say growing up, back in those days when I was young and wild and free, like I had been drinking beer or whatever, and then somebody would say, "Here, get you a dip of this," and then that's the last I remember for the rest of the night. So that moonshine is crazy.
Oh, I'm sure there is a YouTube video.
On how to make moonshine.
Here's a funny story, guys.
Is it still illegal to make moonshine?
Only if you sell it. You can make it for yourself. Now, here's a funny story, guys, about moonshine stills. Like I said, my grandpa, he was all into that. And,
Granny does grow some jasmine. Hear that, girl?
My grandfather came and got me and my dad one time and said he needed help to move a still for a guy in a little backwoods town out in the mountains. So we loaded up and went with him, and there was like 3 trucks out there loading. This is how big this still was. It was enormous. And we were loading all that stuff into the truck, getting ready to move it. Well, the sheriff pulls up. And I was like, oh, Lord, we're all going to jail. And I'm like 14, 15 at the time. I was like, we're all going to jail. It was the sheriff's still. I mean, that's how things were back then.
Where he's talking about ain't too far from where we went and looked at fall colors, y'all, for reference. We were talking about that part of the country today, me and Haley. That's where everybody's idea. If you live in Oklahoma, like that's everybody's plan for where they're going to go. I'm telling you, don't go to Colorado because there's way too many people in Colorado. You'll never get your foot in the door at Colorado. And the winters, we were talking about this today. We had the worst winter one hits while you were at work. Oh my God. We had so much snow. We had a pretty tall porch. It was up to the floor on the porch, down below, right? Well, then we had this big old sheet come off the roof, and it just kept stacking up down there and stacking up. Pretty soon, excuse me, we couldn't get out. So, like, we knocked it out. We knocked the window out. So we're closed in on that porch except for that window. Total igloo. That was a sick amount of snow. I'm stir crazy this week. That's why I went to bacon. They finally told me I couldn't bake anymore. Because we already deep cleaned this winter. I don't have any real spring cleaning to do. I don't care if my house is a little messy, to be honest. I'm not going to kill myself like that. It's been a rough winter. And when I get this much snow for this long, I start to, like, glazing over a little bit.
Peach had me confused.
Me and Peach were talking about that in the last couple of days.
Peach said she was going to go wash her butter and leave it on. I was like, why in the hell would you wash butter? And then she said, wash her butt. You're taking a bath, Peach?
Hello, Splish Lucy. Splash. Peach is taking a bath.
Guys, this is Lucy Fur. Lucyfur.
Well, they can only see her.
And she was up here. Ouch! Leave her alone.
There she is.
She's not happy about
Look
that.
at the camera. All right. Let's get back to what he's doing. Where are we at?
Okay. Pick a book.
The sausage.
Let's see. It's here.
You do it.
No, it's your turn.
Oh, my God.
It's recipes. That's more your thing.
Great sausage recipes and meat curing. This book, literally, if you want to make bologna, you can do that in this book. You can make salami.
Now we're getting into more of the like specialized skill books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to have meat, right? Do you always want to farm out someone else doing something with your meat?
Well, there again, I mean, you can find somebody in your community that's really good at one thing or somebody's really good at another thing, and that's how communities are built, you know. And if you know how to do these things.
My daughter can cut meat. She works at the grocery store here. Now, we don't have a bone saw, but we could get a bone saw.
Do not use a chainsaw. Just saying.
No,
Really nasty.
not a
Don't do it.
chainsaw. But listen, you think if I like wanted to butcher a goat or wanted to butcher a cow, you don't think I would be seeing if we couldn't just do it ourselves?
It's
We've done
not-
our deer.
Granny says, not Saturday. Watch, take it a bath.
She loves Lucy.
What is they're talking about the Hillbilly Moonshine story. What is the name of that movie? Trying to remember. About the brothers that did the moonshine. One of them gets his throat cut, but he lives. And it's really good. It's like, I think it's based on a true story.
Now, doesn't
Really
one of
good.
your books teach you how to make a smoker?
Several do. Just rudimentary smokers, like a pipe off your chimney, you know. And yes, have fun. I did try a chainsaw. I had a lot of deer to butcher one night, and
This was before he met me.
I decided, me and my dad decided to make quick work of splitting the deer. We just use a chainsaw. Was not pretty, especially in your grandmother's garage. Oh, bad, 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 bad. Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't have nothing on what we did to the garage. It was always disgusting.
This book will teach you how to make boudin, both kinds, because there's like a bloodless kind and then the real kind, and then Polish sausages, you know. It tells you how to make different kinds of chorizo, dry cured fresh, loaf chorizo. It's just handy to have stuff like this.
I can't remember Shiloh's.
One of the reasons people made sausage back in the day was to use older livestock, like your old milk cow when she's done for her life as your milk cow. You know,
Or if you kill a wild boar.
kill a wild boar.
Wild boars, ooh boy, ha, that meat's something else. You gotta season it up.
Elk sausage. Have fun. Anyway, it has stuff in here that will tell you how to do it up to USDA standards, and then then it has just the regular way to do it for your own self.
Have fun. I believe the movie was called Lawless or something like that.
Teaches you how to make Slim Jims. I see it in here.
Kiki would love that. She loves.
So
her
this
Slim
is
Jim.
by this guy might be German, guys. It's Great Sausage Recipes and Meat Curing by Rytek Kutas, and it's RYTEK KUTAS. Again, an old book.
Now going with that we have the complete book of tanning skins and furs. And a lot of these other books, like the Ellsworth Yeager books, go into brain tanning, which is the traditional, but this one has all kinds of tanning in it and what to do with it, how to make vegetable tan leather and all kinds of stuff.
Because I've
like
heard
that.
brain tanning is a pain in the butt.
Not really. It's time consuming, and you really have to be careful with, wash it and stuff like that. But it makes really soft leather. And interesting fact, and I heard this a long time ago, and the Native Americans evidently used to say it, and I have found out it turns out to be true for everything I've tried. Every animal has enough brain to tan its own hide.
I imagine there's caveats as to where it has to be a healthy animal
Now,
and at the prime of its life.
Ellsworth Yeager even goes into, if you do not want to tan the certain hide you're working on right then, he goes into how to make bars out of the brain solution. You form it up in bars like soap, and you can store it and use it when you want to. You store it, and then when you get ready to use it, you put it in boiling water and soften it back up and brain tan with it. So you preserve your preserving. It's really cool. That guy's something else. That's right. I'm supposed to go get a shower.
I can smell you, Pete's. What's next?
Okay. How about your mushroom books?
I can't really vouch for these.
But it's something that would be good to know. We haven't tried them personally, but I mean, they're by reputable authors, and it's a book on mushroom hunting. A couple of them.
You guys, like, there are a lot of pictures in here, and there's a lot of information. But, you know, I'm looking for mushrooms in Oklahoma. So, like, a lot of this stuff won't even count for me, you know?
I can identify morels.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of morels on blue in the face. But, like, does Hen of the Woods grow in Oklahoma? What I can say about this book, it is full of beautiful pictures. You know what I mean?
Anytime you're doing plant identification, I think photographs are important.
But it doesn't really tell me whether or not Hen of the Woods grows in Oklahoma. So that, you know, I can look that up for myself, yes. But, you know, I kind of wanted it all in one book when I got this book. So, then I don't know if he tried to redo it or if Girl tried to redo it. We've got two. And they're brand new. Have these been used? No. But me and Girl are going morel hunting this spring. And
Peach says, Peach and Have Fun both love foraging for mushrooms, morels, and oysters. Now, see, she was asking me, I have foraged morels myself, because, I mean, they're easily identified.
right. I have never seen them in the wild.
When do the morels, you know, when are they viable? And I told her turkey season. That's how I know. That's when I used to find them when I'd be turkey hunting.
So, well, next time when we go, I'm going to have Peach and Have Fun on tap. That's what. I'm going to be up in your community pages or texting. Is this it? Is this it? Because we're not taking him. All right. This one's called The Complete Mushroom Hunter. It is dusty. Revised. The Complete Mushroom Hunter.
Wonder why they had to revise it.
Gary Linkoff. So, and it has new sections on growing your own edibles and off-season collecting. See, that's more reason for me. I want to find mushrooms because I want to inoculate logs for myself. I want to have mushrooms in my yard, and that's how I believe foraging should be done. Sprinkle a little love in your own yard.
That is what I call primal gardening.
Yeah.
You take a wild plant that's useful to you and make it grow where you want it to grow, so you ain't got to go for it. It's right there. I mean, that's
like, even if I don't want it, like I can give it to the animals. I like to have things on hand to give to the animals.
We have Morel and Lion's Mane article on their website. Cool.
Cinnabar and chanterelles. You guys are telling me how to forage. The Art of Preserving. Now, this is by...
We have used this book. I've used the sausage book too, by the way. I have a venison Italian sausage recipe in here that will knock your socks off.
Yeah.
And this one we've used for jams.
We made a lot of deer
and
sausage. And if I'm going to make sausage, I'm going to go for Italian every time because it's just delicious.
Yeah, Peach, I've been looking for a book on Oklahoma mushrooms, but so far what I found is just like these little pamphlet things. I don't want, like...
Wow, man, it's like probably not a whole lot of...
Well, I'm saying the little pamphlet looks like something I would sell to tourists, you know?
This is The Art of Preserving by Jacqueline Weisman. So it's Jacqueline, the way Jacqueline is spelled, and then Wejman. Again, this is an old book. This was my grandma's book.
Old books are the best books.
Yes, this book was my grandma's book.
Well, that's just...
So, you know, you've got pickles and relishes of every kind. Piccalilli? What is that?
What?
Sorry.
I don't know.
It's just got a lot of pickles and relishes.
And we have used recipes out of this book, and they do work.
Yeah. Honey preserves?
The Busy Bees.
Honey preserves. I've been seeing a lot of stuff lately about honey and longevity and
Peach says she's
good health.
trying hard to learn preserving. She has sauerkraut working and vinegar working right now.
Excellent.
My grandmother, Peach, used to do.
I put away pectin last year when the goats ate my apples.
She had these huge stoneware crocks that were like 15, 20-gallon crocks. Big stoneware crocks. I know you've seen them. And she had wood covers for them, and that's where she would ferment her sauerkraut.
Good.
And I mean, tons of it, because we all loved sauerkraut. And when I was a kid, I remember going by and I would sneak bites. I would like lift up the wood cover and grab me a pinch of sauerkraut.
Oh, it just won't show it to me. Spiced tomato preserves. Why are they spicing them with cloves?
I don't know.
Just lots of preserves. Marmalades, jellies, jams. I made a lot of jams. And kind of invented my own pepper jelly.
Now, these two books are more of a skill books. This one, it's another old book about blacksmithing. And you can learn a lot about getting started blacksmithing with this book. I love blacksmithing. I mean, I think it's a very handy skill. And I found out later in life that my great-grandfather was a renowned blacksmith.
So he has a forge out there.
And this one, log cabins and how to build them. Obviously, you would need land.
And you would need logs.
Yes, and believe it or not, it's not as easy as you would think to get enough logs for a cabin. But I mean, this thing goes in not only construction, but floor plans. I mean, this is a, very in-depth book. But I mean, if you were...
I don't know how we got that book.
Somebody gave it to me.
We seem like the kind of people that would go and build a log cabin.
Types of cabins, location selection, tools, timber, site clearing, roofs and floors, windows and doors.
But in essence, it's a good book to have on hand for to build a shed or a barn.
Exactly. Make sauerkraut in quart jars, no crock needed. I agree. I can see how that would work. But when I was growing up, a quart jar wouldn't have lasted a day. Like I said, I used to go by and snag little pinches of sauerkraut out the crocks. And
You're supposed to keep that stuff in a dark place, are you? That's what a crock is for, right? It was part of the process of keeping it like a special cool temperature and like keeping it in the dark.
Cute puppy. He's not no puppy. He's older than dirt.
So he got left behind today, so he feels like I have mortally wounded him.
That's Panda, by the way.
It makes me feel bad, but also I have to live my life. You know what I mean?
Now, the only book we have left on the table is another cookbook.
Now, I don't know who this woman is. Apparently she had a... See, what is the deal with me? I can't show anything.
It's showing fine on the phone.
Her name is Natalie Dupre. And apparently she had a restaurant in the South sometime or had a cooking show.
New Southern Cooking.
But my grandma used this book a lot. And she thought enough about it that she got one for me and my cousin for granddaughters. And this is where I got my idea for my peach pepper jelly. See, can you see it? Because I can't see it. Anyway, she had a recipe for hot pepper jelly, and then it says peach pimento jelly right above it. So I was like, hot damn, let's make some peach pepper jelly.
Really good. I guard mine
We went to the peach
viciously.
farm last year. What?
I guard mine viciously.
There's a recipe right here for basil and garlic butter. So her
Store
name
dark
is,
place.
it's called New Southern Cooking. Her name is NATHALIEDUPREE.
Natalie Dupree.
Natalie Dupree. She's
Name of the
got
one
recipes
before the
online,
cookbook.
so you don't have to buy the cookbook.
The title is just Log Cabins and How to Build Them. It's by William Swanson.
There's a pecan pie in here, guys. That's just delicious. Comes out tasting like brownies on a good day. Ron's fudge pecan pie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She has a really good basic recipe for pie crust in there, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the first pie crust I ever made, and it's the one I still like.
It's almost foolproof. But that's just part of the collection. She has more cookbooks than you would believe.
I have a lot of cookbooks.
Uh,
But
She
unless I'm
has-
making like a cake or cookies or bread, I
right
don't
there
need
within
recipes.
sight.
I just go at
is
what I do.
both of Julia Child's.
I got my
cookbooks.
Julia Child cookbooks. They should have been over here.
They were set out to be.
Yeah, I forgot. But y'all know the joy of Mastering the Art of French Cooking, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And that French bread that Haley, that girl made the other day, that came out of that book.
Awesome.
And the way she rises bread is interesting because, other recipes will tell you rise it in a warm place. It only takes an hour or so. Well, she says it's forced rising and that you should rise it in a cooler place for a much longer time. And then she gets a lot more bread out of just a little bit of like flour to yeast ratio. She blows my mind. Talk about a great bread maker. Let's just put that on out there. I know you don't need a crock, but I like the idea of a crock.
What a crock.
What a crock.
I don't know about you guys, but when I drag out favorite books and go talking about it, it makes you want to read them again.
I want to go through that homesteading book.
Which one?
That first one we talked about.
Is that the one that even has about picking land?
Yeah.
Love Julia Child. Oh, yeah.
If you guys don't know, if you ever try to find you some land, the FFA, is it FFA?
That's Future Farmers of America.
FHA?
Future Homemakers of America.
There are programs that can help you try to buy land.
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying. But more than that, there are programs out there that can help you manage the land you already have. The county extension office. I don't know how much they still do because, programs live and die every day out here.
Well,
But you could go over there and they'd test your soil for free. It might take some time, but they would test it for you. They would tell you what crops would grow in your area for your soil. A lot of times they would give you seeds.
if you look at the
and
full
stuff like
title
that.
of that book, that explains it all, right? That's our goal.
How to find new independence on the land.
Exactly. That's what everybody needs to do. Find their independence on the land.
Or find some independence on the
And
land.
which book was it? Let me see if I can find the book.
And you can do it without owning land. Have fun in nature. Just go around. What are the laws for foraging? Is it allowed? If you don't take everything, in state parks and stuff like that, that's what I'm asking.
This is what I was looking for. I don't know if you can read the heading of that chapter,
Just read it.
but that is the base. Every necessity is free. That's what it boils down to right there. Every necessity is free.
That one book, and it said, when you're going to cut your firewood, think forward in the future. What kind of crops are you going to be trellising this year? What fence posts might need to be. He said if you just cut some firewood at longer pieces, then you've got it on hand in case something like that comes up. I thought that was pretty creative. it's full of stuff like that, you know.
USDA might get grants. I don't know. I find it hard to trust any part of the
I
government.
think that may have been what I was trying to go for with the USDA. I know.
Well, like when you get into cutting wood, a thing a lot of people don't think about is, you know, in the good weather, cutting wood, cut the wood further from you. And then when the weather gets worse, you work back toward
the house.
home. I found that out when we moved to the mountains in Colorado. When we first moved up there, it was in April. Our first weekend, we got a 2-foot snowstorm. We didn't have a chainsaw. In fact, when we first got there, I didn't even have an axe. I had a hatchet. And that was some work. I was out there 2 foot of snow, hatcheting trees.
There was no heat in the house. But it had a fireplace.
But I've got a double bit axe, and let me tell you, I can swing an axe now, buddy.
It's all right, guys. What do y'all think about all this?
Best cooking book ever, The Joy of Cooking, according to Brian. Find the early version.
The Joy of Cooking. I watched Julia so much with my grandma, and I'd always ask her, is she drunk? Is she legit drunk right now, Grandma?
We can forage someplace. I think public land you can forage. Now, some places like in Colorado, you had to really watch picking up rocks and stuff like that because people would have mineral claims. But
we lived right by a mountain, which had a really awesome stream, and every year when the mountain would thaw out, it'd just come rushing down that mountain and it would wash new rocks in. Oh, have fun. The best rocks ever in Colorado.
we've got some Colorado rocks around the yard.
Yeah, I still got we got one called the Wire Rock that my daughter cried up for like 2 hours out there in that stream. Told her, give it up. She wouldn't give it up. It's a beautiful, like, blushy. Cause see, there's that pink granite running around Colorado. I think that's what it is.
They call it Pikes Peak granite.
Yeah. It's a big old nice oblong piece, and it's got like this white, we call it the Wire Rock. It's got this split of some other kind of rock in it. It's just really pretty. I love rocks. I swiped a geology book for one of my teachers when I was in junior high because I liked rocks so much. And he wanted to cultivate that in me, so he like sent it home with me, and I just never took it back. I was always staring at gravel yards and just, you know, I don't know why I thought real rock was going to be in a gravel yard, but there I was just looking at all the rocks, trying to match
rig
them
location. Look how many fossils I found on a rig location, and I found those, what's that mineral I was bringing home? The crystals. I can't remember the name.
Calcite?
No, girl could tell us, but I don't remember. We talked about it before on here. I have an eye for things that are out of place, like when I look in the rocks. I can see something that looks strange, you know.
And the best, I only found flint one time, and it was at a Red Lobster with the little rocks they have in their little, I picked it up. It was really nice, big old piece of flint. I guess I'm done. Are you done?
Well,
it was a good talk.
That was all the books
we talked
had
about this Saturday is what it was, and just thought we'd throw some titles at y'all, or just the idea of.
I am very, very interested, I guess you'd say, in like the survival books and mountain man books. I love reading about the old mountain men, Hugh Glass and Jim Bridger. And The Revenant, I mean, great movie. They did fudge some, but
still, that guy survived a bear attack.
Yes, that is true. And Jim Bridger was one of the ones that left him there. So I mean, it all goes back together.
Oh yeah.
And Jeremiah Johnson.
But it's say again, I'm not like sponsored by the Farmer's Almanac or anything. But like, it's still a really helpful book and fun book. It's good for the downtime. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of winter, and really it feels like I've only gotten 2 weeks of real winter. But that's enough.
I've always loved the winter, but I'm more of the hunter than the gardener. Well,
I love you guys for coming, and I love you guys for hanging out and taking in some ideas. I love you guys for all the ideas you show us, and have fun the places you take us.
But I was saying, guys, just sharing information, whether
Share
it's
and
sharing
share.
a book or
Share.
talking to each other on YouTube.
Or just ideas.
Community.
Unity. Peace, guys. Won't kick y'all out. Bye. Was that good?